and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the foundation and contour highlight routine that you guys have been asking me to do for a very long time. So if you want to see how I do it, then please keep watching. So I'm first starting off by tying all my hair back and getting on with the moisturiser. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury moisturiser here, which is actually called Magic Cream, and the reason why I like using this is not only does it moisturise my skin, but it also primes my skin at the same time as well. And I know it is really expensive, so I am trying to find an alternative. Next, onto colour correcting. So I'm taking this Illamasqua pigment in Emerge, and it's actually a cream pigment, and I'm popping that on to my under eyes, and this basically counteracts any kind of darkness underneath the eyes. So as you can see here, without using any concealer, just how much colour correcting it's done, and I'm doing the same thing on the other eye as well. I did have a couple of breakouts on my chin, so I'm using this Max Factor CC Colour Corrector in the green shade and just putting this onto any areas where I have any kind of redness. And I'm dabbing the product on just to make sure that there's enough on there, and then using my good old fingers to just pat that and blend that into place. You don't want to move the product because you don't want to spread the colour correcting product anywhere that it shouldn't be. So I'm just making sure that that's all done, and this is what the skin looks like once it's all been moisturised and colour corrected. Then moving on to the actual foundation contour routine, I'm using these EX1 foundations here, the darker shade in F500 and lighter shade in F200 to contour and highlight with. So I'm using the darker shade with this concealer buffer brush by Zoeva, and I'm going in and contouring. So for the cheeks, if you make like that fish face, you can actually feel where your cheeks go in, or you can use something like a makeup brush to find that contour area. And what you want to do is you want to start the colour near your ear, and you want to head towards the kind of corner of your lip, and you don't want to move the colour like any further into your kind of face apart from where your eyeball is. So you want to kind of concentrate the colour there. So what I'm doing first is I'm making a line of contour on both of the sides of my cheeks, like you can see here, and then lifting and drawing that colour slightly up towards my temples. Then it's time to contour the forehead. This basically gives the illusion of your forehead being smaller, so if you've got a small forehead, then you can totally skip this. And what I'm doing is just applying that colour in kind of like a rainbow shape on my forehead. Then it's time to do the temples, and this basically helps draw your face and make it look more thinner from the top. And again, you don't have to do this either, you can skip this if you feel like you don't need it. So I'm just applying a little bit of that same shade there. Then onto contouring the jawline, and this just basically helps really define that area and kind of get rid of any kind of like double chin if you've got anything like that going on. And you want to take this colour from like the outer part of your chin and draw it up towards like your earlobe, like you can see here, and then doing the exact same thing on the other side. Next, onto the lips, I'm going to be contouring the bottom part of my lip and just in between my cupid's bow, and this will just help your lips look plumper. And again, just using the same brush to apply the product onto here. And then once that's all done, it's time to move on to contouring the nose, and I'm using this angled brush by Real Techniques to just contour the sides of my nose, and this will help it look a little bit slimmer and even just more defined if you want to go down that route. So I'm just drawing two lines down my nose like you can see here, and then also dragging that colour down a little bit, and this just helps with when you're going to be blending all of that colour out. So this is what your face looks like when all the contour is in place, and then it is time to do the highlighting part. So I'm basically filling in all of the gaps where there is no contour. So I'm going in with a lighter shade F200 by EX1 Cosmetics, and using this Real Techniques, I think it's called the Expert Face Brush, I always call it the buffing brush, but I'm using that to apply the product onto my face. Now the reason why I like using these foundations is because they are super light and easy to work with. And this is what it looks like with the foundation on, and then just to add a little bit more of a highlight, I'm using this Sephora Smoothing and Brightening Concealer, I think it's called, but I'm applying that, like you can see, in a triangle shape and filling in the shape of the triangle with the product and applying a little bit onto my chin to make that stand out, on my cupid's bow and like the top line of my lip, and this will just help bring that all out. So I'm applying that there and also underneath my jawline and then filling that part in. And what this does is it basically brings out these features outwards on your face, so it helps them look more defined alongside the contour. And then I'm also doing the same thing onto the bridge of my nose and my forehead. So this is what it looks like. Pretty crazy. But I'm going in with this Motives brush here with some Fix Plus spray, so spraying this onto the brush and just blending in all of that contour. So anywhere that we've contoured with a darker foundation shade, I am just blending that away. And the reason why I used Fix Plus spray is because it helps blend the product out, and it kind of doesn't make it look cakey or anything like that. It gives it a really nice, glowing, seamless finish to the whole look. And yeah, so I'm just making sure that everything is nicely blended. And then once all of that is done, I'm going in with another Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques and some more Fix Plus spray, spraying that onto the brush, and then going in and blending all of the highlighted areas. I like using two brushes because that way none of the colours get mixed up too much, that any kind of efforts for contouring and highlighting is pretty much like been wasted. So that's the reason why I like to use two brushes, and you can totally use a beauty blender if you want, but I just like using brushes. And in the end, I make sure that the two colours are nicely blended in together. So this is what all of the foundation, contour and highlight would look like. And then I'm setting the highlight with my favourite banana powder using this Luxe Highlight Brush by Zoeva, and just applying that on very, very lightly to the areas that I have highlighted and concealed. And this again just helps that highlight kind of stand out, and it looks great in photography as well. And then grabbing this Bahama Mama powder by the Balm Cosmetics, it's a very cool toned bronzer kind of contour shade, and then I'm taking that on the Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt brush and just setting anywhere that we have contoured. So on my cheekbones, and bringing that up into my temples and my hairline, my jawline, and not forgetting the nose as well. And then to make sure that the whole kind of look is complete, I always like to add some sort of blusher, and I'm using this Max Factor Creme Puff Blush in 05 Lovely Pink on my cheeks, and it just gives a really nice natural looking blush. And then of course my Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Powder, and I'm using that in a C shape on my top of my cheeks, on my T-zone, my chin, and obviously not forgetting my Cupid's bow. And here you can just see me doing that, and I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush to apply this, and it just adds that little bit of glow and helps your highlighted areas look a little bit higher up and just a little bit more defined as well. This is totally optional, but I'm taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder and just powdering my face just to make sure that everything is nice and set and matte, but like I said, it's totally optional because we have put the other powders to set everything before. So this is the final look, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed the kind of in-depth foundation, contour and highlight routine. Give this video a thumbs up if you want more kind of cream highlight routines and things like that, because I'm more than happy to do them. But yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!